Are we on now?
Yes.
All right, good evening everybody. Well, welcome online. I'm trying to get us some music to start ourselves. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that's right. What a wonderful way to start tonight. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so sorry I came a bit late tonight. We started a bit late. We had some technical issues, and that's why we're not on Zoom. I know some people have been saying hello. Hey, Gegele Short Emitayo, how are you doing? It's good to see you too. Well, I mean, wonderful tonight. Thank you very much for coming online. If you're there and yeah, you can signify by saying hello, say I really want to know that you're watching me tonight. So I'm so sorry I'm starting a bit late and we're not going to be on Zoom because tonight we're not even going to be talking about I'm not going to be sharing any screen, okay? Because what I want to talk about tonight is extremely important. It's about to change somebody's life forever, okay? So last week I promised that I was going to talk about procrastination, okay? Remember, we're still talking about be gradual, okay? Starting this year, gradually running and getting to your vision gradually. Don't stop, don't be sleeping, just make sure you're being gradual. So like I always say, I think that's going to be my theme for this year. No matter what you're doing, whether you're running, whether you're walking, whether you're crawling, or even when you're falling, make sure you're doing it forward, okay? So be gradual, but make sure you're moving. That's my theme for this year. That's, you know, that's my motto for this year. All right, so I want to welcome you tonight, and I want you to, hey, hi Banke, how you doing? Thank you very much for joining. So I'll still be saying hi to a lot of people in the course of this video, but tonight what I want to talk about is be gradual, and we want to look at this topic that says overcoming procrastination. Yeah, procrastination. As many of us know, they say it's a thief of time. Procrastination is the thief of time. But we want to look at procrastination tonight. Like I said to you last week, if you're looking for someone that has really procrastinated in life and actually made it an habit, it's not an habit, it's a habit, that made it a habit and eventually overcame, okay, procrastination, someone that has overcome procrastination, you're looking at that person right now in your phone or on your tablet or in your computer. You're looking at me right now. I've been there, okay? I mean, I used to be a procrastinator, okay? I mean, like big time procrastinator. But I can tell you categorically, and I'm not kidding, I have been able to overcome that. I don't procrastinate anymore, okay? Well, as a habit. But we need to understand what procrastination is, and if you are one of those people that have had this problem, you know, in the past, you have procrastination as a big problem. Tonight, I think, will be your night of breakthrough. For those of you that believe in deliverance, it's going to be your night of deliverance, okay? But honestly, it's going to be a night of, it's going to be an eye-opener to you tonight, because the way we're going to treat the topic, you're going to be shocked, okay? We're going to understand exactly what procrastination is, what it does to us, how and when do we procrastinate, and then how do we overcome it. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish tonight, but I don't want to do much of talking. I just want to give you the points, enlighten you. Many of these things you already know, okay? Many of these things you already know. Possibly you're not practicing them. And so I just want to charge you up tonight. I want to encourage you to begin to practice them and begin to do what you're supposed to do. All right? Now, having said that, one other thing I need to say before we go deep into this topic is that a lot of people actually don't understand what procrastination is. There are so many other things that people call procrastination that are not actually procrastination, right? And then procrastination in itself, we need to define it and understand it, okay? So that's where we're going to start tonight. you know, I always have it as not yet, as point. So the first thing I want to talk about is that procrastination is not a habit in itself. Hello? Procrastination is not a habit in itself, but simple inaction. All right? It's a simple inaction. However, we know that continuous and frequent practice of an action or inaction can become a habit. All right? For example, sleeping. You know, when people say, if you ask people, what did you do yesterday? They tell you, well, what I slept throughout yesterday. And I ask them, that is not a doing. Okay? That is not a doing. I mean, it means you did nothing. Okay? Sleeping is not a doing. Okay? Sleeping is being inactive. All right? You were inactive. Okay? So it's the same thing as procrastination. Procrastination is not an action. That is where a lot of people miss it. So procrastination, the first thing you need to understand is not a habit in itself. Okay? And it is not an action. I mean, if you check the dictionary meaning, it's wrong. All right? They tell you that procrastination is the action of, is the act, maybe some says act, some says action, of putting the things you're supposed to do now till later, or not doing it at all. Okay. If I'm supposed to eat now and I don't eat, is that an action? No. So procrastination, the first thing you need to understand is that procrastination is inaction. Okay, so it's something you don't do. It's not something you do. So it's something you don't do. And that's why it's extremely dangerous, because it's not something you do. For example, drinking. Someone that drinks alcohol a lot, of course, when we say drinking, we mean alcohol, no? Someone that drinks alcohol a lot, it's not bad to drink alcohol. But it becomes bad when it becomes a habit. When it becomes a habit, you become a drunkard or you become alcoholic. Okay, that's when it becomes bad, right? All right. But drinking in itself is not the habit. The habit is when you do it continuously. But drinking is an action, is an action. It's something you do. So it's quite easy. It's actually easier to stop drinking than to stop procrastination. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. Why? Because something that is an action, to stop it, you just stop doing it. Okay? But when something is not an action, when it's inactivity, then how do you stop it? Because you're not actually doing. Okay? So, but honestly speaking, it's as simple as doing the opposite. Okay, so if it is inactivity that causes procrastination, then how do you stop it? Activity. Okay, so it's that simple. But we get into more details about that. But the first thing you need to understand is that procrastination in itself is not a habit. Okay, and it is not an action. It's inactivity. Okay, so when you're not doing, that's when you can say you're procrastinating. All right. The second thing you need to understand is that procrastination is the act. So if I would define procrastination, I would say is the act, okay, not the action, is the act of putting ahead of shoving off what should have been done now. Listen, there are two things you need to understand here, because I was thinking about this. And this is where a lot of people get it confused. And I will be very practical with this, okay, with this talk tonight. I want to be very practical, because a lot of us, first of all, many of us think we are procrastinators and we are not, okay? Our problem is actually deeper, much deeper than procrastination. And a lot of us think that we are trying to overcome procrastination, not knowing that we're actually killing ourselves or lying to ourselves. Now, let me explain this to you. Procrastination is the act of putting ahead or shoving off what you should have done, or what should have been done now. Now, there are two things here. I mean, there are two sentences I want to make, and you have to note the difference. There is a difference between what should be done now and what you can do now. That is where a whole lot of people make the mistake of misunderstanding procrastination, and also misunderstanding the ability to overcome procrastination. Now, because there are two different things. What you should do now is what you should do. Okay, what should be done. what is necessary to be done, what is of most value, okay, to be done. That's what you should do. Now, what you can do is what possibly might not be necessary, but there is time for it. All right. Now, let me first of all liberate some people here. Okay, let me liberate some people here, because I had a whole lot of time dealing with this, because I used to be a procrastinator. Okay, so when I started dealing with myself, I dealt myself to a point that I was brutal to myself. Okay, and I needed, because you can move from one extremity to another extremity without knowing it. Okay, let me give you a practical example right now. You've come back from work, okay, you're tired, and it's 9 o'clock. Normally you sleep at 11, but 9 o'clock you're very tired. Now, what you should do, excuse me, listen to this now. What you should do is go to bed and sleep. But because you still have 2 hours that usually you're not supposed to be sleeping, you're not always asleep, what you can do within those 2 hours will be to watch movies, or to read a book, or to quickly finish up some assignments you brought from the office. Now, this is where we make a whole lot of mistake, okay? When you look at those things I said now, they are good to do, but you should not do them now. Now, this is where the problem comes. So a procrastinator, all right, who goes to sleep at that point, okay, someone that we call a procrastinator, who goes to bed at that time, will judge him or herself that, oh, I've procrastinated again because I could have just finished up my assignment from the office in those 2 hours, and I just, because of laziness, I'm sleeping again. That's procrastination. You keep judging yourself, all right? The other person who will not go to sleep, okay, will go and do that assignment and feel better about him or herself and say, well, I have not procrastinated, I've been able to achieve it. Let me tell you something. The two of them, if you ask me who is wrong, the one that thinks he's not a procrastinator is wrong, because he has done what he is not supposed to do at that time. Okay, so he that thinks he's a procrastinator is actually right by going to sleep, because to sleep at that time was the most appropriate thing to do. So you need to understand that procrastination is the act of putting ahead what should have been done. So the one that actually went ahead to finish up his assignment from the office is the one that has actually procrastinated. Because what should have been done at that time was to sleep. Because that is the most appropriate thing to do. Okay? So, you see that everything is converging to a point right now, and you will soon get me. Okay? Now, don't get confused. Just follow me. Alright, so what I try to define there is what procrastination is. So, procrastination is not just putting away what you could do. No, it's what you should have done. Okay, when you put that away for another time, that is when you have procrastinated. Okay, so be cool on yourself. As long as you are not putting away what you should do for what you could do, or what you have not even done at all, you have not procrastinated. All right, some of us will need to replay this video to really catch that. Okay, but I'm not going to waste time. All right, so like I said earlier, procrastination is not an action, but an inaction. Okay? Now, procrastination. So what is procrastination? If it is putting away what should have been done for another time. Now, let me tell you this. Procrastination, since it's not an action, then what it is exactly? A lot of people... I'm sorry to say this, all right? I mean, and I'm not trying to get at anybody, but I've heard people pray against the spirit of procrastination. It is not a spirit, okay? It is not a spirit. Procrastination is not a spirit. Procrastination is not a demon. Procrastination is just a state of the mind. Okay, all right. So if you are a procrastinator, you are not possessed. I've been there. I've been a procrastinator before. I wasn't possessed. I will tell you some reasons why people can, turn to become procrastinators. There are 3 types, okay, of people that make it a habit. All right. So it's not a spirit. Procrastination is not a spirit that should be cast out or binded. No. Procrastination is simply a mental or emotional weakness, okay, that gives in to thoughts of inaction against action during any thought process of most valuable use of time. All right, I'll come again. Now, let me give you a practical example, very practical example, okay? Now, you wake up in the morning. The first thing you're supposed to do, all right, when you wake up in the morning, okay, for those that are Christians, maybe pray, all right? You pray, you study, you have your devotions. When I wake up, I sit in bed, I stay in bed, maybe play some music, relax and plan my day, all right? Now, that's the first thing I'm supposed to do. After that, wake up, take my bath, greet my children, greet my wife, take off to work. After work, attend to a few calls that I've missed and stuff like that. Then relax for about 30 to 45 minutes to watch maybe a short movie or musicals, and then go to classes. Now, so I have my whole schedule planned. All right. Now, this is procrastination. So procrastination comes when, and do you know that every action that we take, now it's very easy for me now to tell you what I do in a day. That's why if you call me at a particular time and you don't get me, it's not because I don't want to pick your call. It's because that call cannot be picked at that time. For example, if my mom starts calling me now, even if she calls me for the next 30-40 minutes, I'm not going to pick it. Not because I don't want to answer her, because I'm on a live program, okay? So the time has been scheduled, okay? I can't do anything outside what I'm doing right now. Now, if I am not that program, this is where problem now comes in, okay? This is where procrastination starts. When you don't have a programmed life, okay? When you don't have an organized life, you are always in between thoughts for everything you need to do. Now, it's normal as human beings that we think about every action we have to take, okay? Like tonight, let me be very practical with us. I was supposed to start this meeting at 8 o'clock, right? But I was at the barber shop. Look at that. Do you like that? I've shaved, yeah? I look good, right? Okay. So I was at the barber shop. I actually went there by 6, thinking in an hour I'll be out. But I met some clients and I had to wait. I couldn't leave and all that. So when it was like 15 minutes to 8, okay, I had to make a decision. Now, I already planned my day, all right? I already planned 8 o'clock, I will be on air, I'll be teaching and stuff like that. 6 to 7, I should be off from the barber shop, dress up, practice, get the technicalities ready and all that. Everything was planned. But then, the incidents came up, okay? Now I'm late. Now I needed to make a decision at 5 minutes to 8. I needed to decide whether to still come on air, but come late, or just postpone it and say sorry to everybody and do it next week. Now, when we come to that point in life, so this is what I'm explaining to you now. The most valuable thing for me to do between 8 and 9 or after 9 today is to be speaking to you as I'm doing right now. But circumstances came up that put me in a thought position, in a battle of thoughts. Now, if I was a procrastinator and I'm weak in my thoughts, okay, I will allow the thoughts of inactivity to overcome me. And I'll go like, it's better I don't do it, okay? Not doing it is that procrastination, okay? Because you become inactive, okay? You just give up. A lot of people that procrastinate, that is where their problem is. It's not a spiritual problem. It's a mental and emotional problem. They have not trained their minds enough to overcome that battle. And we have that battle every day of our lives. You're supposed to read, okay? You want to read and you know you have exams tomorrow. You have exams, okay, 2 days time. And you have scheduled your timetable. okay, you're supposed to read from 7 to 8. And then someone calls you, and then you're supposed to sleep from 8 to 9. Then something comes up that, of course, maybe is of the same value or not as valuable as that exam, and then you are in between thoughts. Okay, your ability to overcome that thought of doing something else, all right, is what gives you power not to procrastinate. So begin to note it right now, because when I was going to overcome procrastination, I became very practical with myself. Okay, should I do this now? Is this something I should do? If the answer is yes, listen to me, listen. Before I, became matured in my mind to be able to take my decision and go with it, when the answer is yes, then I will still listen to that other voice of inactivity. And I'll be like, okay, so why do you think I shouldn't do it now? Well, you might disappoint people, you might, the thought keeps coming. People might say you're not serious and all that. Then you begin to wait, all right? Now, you need to do that every time, even to the clothes we wear and all that. Now, so your inability to win those thoughts and become inactive is actually what causes procrastination. So it is not a spirit, okay? It is not a spirit that the devil sent to you that is troubling you. No, it's just weakness of the mind and the inability to win the thoughts, okay? And the battles of thoughts in our mind, especially for the most valuable use of our time. That is simply procrastination. So now that we know what procrastination is, let's begin to go gradually and understand it a bit more, and then we begin to see how we can, liberate ourselves totally from procrastination. Hey, hi, Pastor Mrs. Shijo Alex. Thank you very much for joining. I'm so grateful you're here. All right, so we're still talking about overcoming procrastination. All right, now, let me just go a little bit more. So, when does procrastination become a habit? Procrastination becomes a habit when you are so weak in your mind process, in your thought process, okay? When you're so weak in your thought process that you are always being overcome by that thought of inactivity, and then you do it every time, okay? That's when we can say you have the habit of procrastinating. I had it, okay? And I will tell you the reasons. All right, so let's quickly look at the 3 types of people that actually have the habit of procrastination. So, like I said to you, procrastination is an inaction. So it's not a habit in itself, okay? But it can actually become a habit. All right. So that you procrastinated today doesn't make you a procrastinator. All right. Just like I used to say to people, everybody sins. There's no man on earth that doesn't sin. But that I sin today doesn't make me a sinner. All right. I sinned right there, right then. But I'm still a Christian, right? I'm still saved, right? But I sinned. Yeah, I can sin. And God forgives me. Yeah. But does that make you a sinner? No, it doesn't make you a sinner. You've been redeemed. Yes. There are sinners. Okay. So sinners are people that perpetually, okay, they perpetually commit sin. And when they commit sin, not just that they commit sin, but they don't feel bad about it and they do nothing not to commit the same sin again, okay? That's when we know you're a sinner. So when you procrastinate and you don't feel bad about it, for example, if I decided tonight and go like, well, I'm already late, I'm not going to have the talk again tonight. Well, we just do it next week. When I do that, okay, I've procrastinated. But if I don't feel bad at all about it, then I'm a procrastinator. Then I have a problem, all right? So there are 3 types of people that are actually procrastinators. And I'll tell you the 3. Now, I'm not directing this to anyone, but if you find yourself in any of those 3 categories, then you need to adjust, okay? And begin to find a way to overcome that from tonight. The first category of people that are procrastinators are the foolish people. I call them the fools. All right, now I will explain that. These are people who have very wrong foundational value system, okay? I was a procrastinator for this reason. I was a fool. Yeah, I was a fool. Because I got my value system at a point so wrong. Now, what do you mean by value system? You remember when I started, I told you that it has to do with the most valuable use of our time. That's when procrastination comes in. When the most valuable use of your time is not spent on what you should be doing and you're doing something else, or you're not doing that thing at all. That is procrastination. All right. So it all boils down to our value system. That's a basic. It's nothing much more than that. All right. So when you have a very wrong foundational value system, and I'll give you examples, I can call you a fool, and definitely you can fall in that category of people that have procrastination as a habit. This type of people, they lack the ability to prioritize their values correctly. Let me give you a typical example. Someone that has exams tomorrow, excuse me, you have exams to write tomorrow and you've not studied, and a friend of you calls you up and says, hey guy, can we just play one computer game for 1 hour? And you couldn't resist that temptation. You couldn't resist that thought of playing games, and you decided to play games for 1 hour. Some people are looking at me right now. Okay, you better listen to this. Some are still playing games. And you couldn't resist the temptation of playing games, okay, over reading. Then, which one is more valuable? The game you're playing right now for the next 1 hour, or your book or your exam that you have tomorrow? All right. So when you see a man that is supposed to be at work playing games, all right, the Bible says that it talks about some people, a particular land, that their princes eat in the morning, and their nobles, I think it says they get drunk early in the morning or something like that. Those are the people we're talking about. That's procrastination, because it's not wrong to drink, it's not wrong to eat, it's not wrong to marry, but when you do it early in the morning, what that scripture is simply saying is you have left what is valuable for what is not valuable. You are a fool at that point, and you are a procrastinator. That was the category I belonged to. Times that I was supposed to possibly be reading or writing books or developing businesses, I used to play Candy Crush. I played Candy Crush so much, they actually decided to organize a deliverance meeting for me in church. I'm not lying to you. The pastor was preaching and I'll be playing Candy Crush. Okay? It was that bad. Which one was more valuable? The message or Candy Crush? I'll be playing Candy Crush. Okay, some of you are relating to this right now because now you see what I'm talking about. I was foolish. Okay, so when it got to the point they said, we're going to arrange deliverance for you, I told them one day, I said, deliverance is not my case. I know what is wrong with me. They said, what is wrong with? I said, because I am jobless and I am foolish with it. I said, if I get a job now or I get my priorities right, I said, I will stop playing the game. You don't need deliverance on me. Exactly that was what happened. I got jobs. I opened an office. I started teaching people classes. Today, you can't even find one game on my phone. Not one. Okay? I've stopped playing games now in the last 2 or 3 years. If I want to play game now, I play with my kids. We still play Monopoly. I play chess sometimes. I play Scrabble sometimes. If I put a game on my phone today, it won't take me 1 week before I will delete it myself. Because I have come to understand now that I have more valuable things to do than playing that game. Are you getting what I'm saying tonight? All right. So the first set of people that are procrastinators are those that are classified as the foolish people. I was one of them. So those are the people that have very wrong foundational value system. They don't know how to prioritize their days. They don't know how to prioritize their time. They don't know how to prioritize their actions, okay, or their activities. So they lack the ability to prioritize their values correctly. They do the wrong things at the right times, okay? The time is right, but you are doing the wrong thing. When they are supposed to be sleeping and resting, that's when they want to watch movies. Of course, when I want to sleep, I need to put a movie on. Because if I don't put movies, I don't sleep easily. But my wife complains every time. You don't even watch the film for 10 minutes. You're already snoring. Yeah, I need to use it to sleep. It's like my dose to sleep, okay? But I really don't want to watch film at that time. When I want to watch film, maybe one Saturday evening or when I'm really calm and I just want to relax, okay? But to sleep, I know when to sleep. And when I want to sleep, whatever it will take me to sleep, I'll do it and sleep. I will not suspend my time of sleeping to start reading. It's wrong. Reading is good, yeah. It's valuable, yes, but it's not possibly it's not as valuable to me at that time than sleeping. Okay, so it's about prioritizing your value system. So those people, I call them the foolish people. They can be procrastinators. The second set of people, okay, listen to this very carefully. Not too many people, not too many Africans are in this category, but some are, and I'll tell you why. Are the lazy people. Now, it is not procrastination that makes them lazy. It is because they are lazy that they procrastinate. Hello? Hello? Yeah. So it is not because you're procrastinating that you're lazy. No, 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 no. It's because you are lazy that you're procrastinating. All right? Now, let me talk to these people. Okay? Maybe if you are there, you're listening to me. If you are one of those people that do not have the value for hard work and labor, a lot of Christians fall in this category. Yeah, you're supposed to go out and share your curriculum vitae, or you're supposed to do a course. What do? Christians, we stay home, we start praying. You're lazy. All right, you're just simply lazy. That's it. And the reason you put that away because it's raining outside, you're like, oh, the weather is not good again today, man. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. I'll do this, I'll do that. I think the TV is off. Okay, it's because you're lazy, right? Now, so you need to get yourself, okay, to work. When you don't have value for hard work and labor, okay, you will procrastinate. This is very common amongst those people that are born with silver spoons in their mouths. Okay, so when you have people that are born with silver spoon in their mouths, like we say, such people, they have every possibility. Okay, there is every possibility that they will procrastinate. They will be procrastinators. So if you are in that category, what do you need to do? You need to get yourself to understand. Okay, you need to get yourself to understand that nothing comes easy in life. All right, I don't fall in that category, not at all. I mean, you don't need to tell me whether I'm lazy. Or I know I am not lazy because I was brought up in a family where my father worked, my mother worked. Okay, they were workaholics. Okay, they are still working. All right, so I grew up to understand that you need to work. Academically, when it comes to farming, when it comes to business, I did everything from my youth. Okay, so it's very difficult for me to be a procrastinator because I'm lazy, because I am not lazy. But there are people that are lazy. There are people that believe that things will just happen, you know, because they never suffered in their lives. So at the end of the day, what they're supposed to do, they don't do it. They love to party. Okay, they're supposed to wake up at 9, they check the alarm clock and they put extra 20 minutes, extra 30 minutes. I don't use alarm clocks. Okay, well, now I don't even use alarm clocks. Before, I never used them. Okay, I don't need alarm clocks because I'm not lazy. But procrastinators, actually, people that are lazy, they are prone to become procrastinators. All right, the third set of people. Hello, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, let me talk to you about this. Many of us are procrastinators because we fall in this third category. This third category are the wicked and selfish people. Yes, wicked and selfish. When you have wickedness, and I will explain it, and many people fall in this category. When you are wicked and you are selfish, there is every tendency that you can become a procrastinator. What do I mean? Now, these are people who procrastinate to cheat systems or other people for their own selfish benefits. You work in an office, okay? You're a teacher. Maybe you're a teacher in a public school, okay? And then instead of you to go to class and teach the kids, you just send them notes. Just go and copy these notes. I don't want to teach today. You know why you do that? You do that because it's not your school. You do that because they are not your children. You do that because you are wicked. Hello, you are wicked. Instead of you to be teaching the kids, you're selling things. And what's the excuse you give? The salary is not enough. And then you procrastinate because that's procrastination. What you're supposed to be doing during work hour is work. Okay? There was a time that I was working for, I still work. I work in a company. And, when we don't have jobs like that, I get frustrated. And my boss will always tell you, when you have nothing to do, just call and tell me. And we used to talk. And then one day, one of my colleagues said to me, Akinshola, that you finish your work so quickly. I said, yes. I said, because I'm used to it. I'm used to doing my things quick. He said, well, but you're messing us up. He said, because the moment you finish your work, the boss starts looking at all of us as if we're lazy. He said, listen, it's salary they are paying us. It's not your company. When they give you a job, you have to be slow. You have to do it, a job that you can do in 2 hours. You have to do it for 8 hours. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Now, that's what I'm saying. A lot of us are wicked and we say we are Christians. You are not a Christian, no, you are wicked. Because your boss is not there, you go to work and you sleep. Because your boss is not there, you go to work and you begin to play music, you begin to do whatever you like. Some Christians will leave their job. A job you're supposed to work for 8 hours. You will do everything under 2-3 hours, and then you go into the toilet, you start reading your Bible. And you think that is good? No. That is wickedness. And that is also procrastination. That is how I'm talking about you, because it's a habit, no? When it becomes an habit, because a lot of people don't know how they got there. Okay, how come I now procrastinate this much? Because these are the reasons, these are the ways you got there. Because it has become part of you at your place of work or in that school or whoever you work for. It has become part of you, and then it begins to come into your own life. I used to say to people, be careful what you do, because what you do in one area of your life is going to affect every other area of your life, whether you like it or not. Okay, so you just didn't become a procrastinator. It has to be one of these three things. Okay, and this third one is extremely very, very important, and many of us fall into that category because they are not watching you. You become, you are selfish. If it doesn't benefit you, I won't do it. Okay, your boss tells you to do something. Okay, listen, like today, I was supposed to have, distributed some flyers, invite a lot of people for this talk tonight. But the person I gave the job of the flyer to design since last week Tuesday till I'm speaking to you now, this person has not delivered the job and has not given me a reason why the job has not been done. Now the question is, if this was this person's business, this person's personal business, was he going to do that? No, he wouldn't. But why did he procrastinate this much? Because he's wicked and selfish. We are all created like that, okay? Human beings are born naturally selfish. It takes God for you not to be selfish and be selfless. You can tell that. A lot of pastors are watching me tonight. You can tell that even in the church. A lot of people come to church just for themselves. They are not really there to serve people or, to be obedient to anybody. They come at the time they like. They want to go at the time they like, okay? And why will they procrastinate and not get to church early? Because they are just selfish. All right. Now it's a nature. It's a nature that we need to kill. Okay. So that is one reason. that is one other class of people that can become procrastinators. So they are not always inactive. Okay. Listen, these people, they are not always inactive, but will be when they think the results will not directly affect them. So they don't give a damn. They don't care. As long as it's not going to affect me, it doesn't really matter. Now it matters, because whether you like it or not, gradually it's turning you into a procrastinator. All right, so I think with that tonight, we understand clearly what procrastination is. Okay, so there are so many dimensions to it. Just that you put off something that you should have done, or that you could have done for a later time, doesn't mean you have procrastinated. It's only when you put off or you put away something you should have done that you actually procrastinate. So take it easy on yourself, okay? Possibly you are not a procrastinator. Possibly what you just need is to understand how to arrange yourself, okay? How to be organized, how to arrange your value system. All right, so how do we deal with procrastination? It's already 9 o'clock. I have to stop. I have 7 things, okay, that you need to do to overcome procrastination. and I will stop here tonight, okay, because I can't rush it. This is the core of the teaching, and I think it's good that we have actually spent a lot of time tonight to overcome procrastination. So let me just recap that, and we will end it here tonight, okay? But next week, I promise you, next week I'm going to talk about this. I don't know yet if I will have a very special program for side cash. A lot of people are joining now. It's getting exciting, and let me promise you this. It possibly might be in March or it might be in April, but we're going to do like our first virtual convention for side cash. It's going to be huge. It's going to be mighty. For those of you that have joined already, you possibly, I'm not lying to you, possibly within those 2 weeks, you're going to become a millionaire if you are not one in Naira, okay? Naira, not in euros yet. We're going to make you millionaires, okay? Within those 2 weeks. There's a program coming up. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be on side cash. You wouldn't want to miss that. I will let us in on that. For as many people that will need the flyers, the invitations, we will send that in later. But we are still working on the mathematics, working on the logistics, putting the office together and all that. So it's going to be a bomb, okay? It's going to be like a marathon money making 2 weeks for us. Okay, let me not say more than that. Okay, but maybe next week I will talk a little bit more on side cash. Today I'm not going to be talking about side cash at all because of time. What I'm talking about tonight is very important to me. All right, so if you have listened to me tonight and you have understood what procrastination really means, okay, then what I want you to do against next week is begin to analyze your value system. What are the things that are most valuable to me at every particular time? Listen, once you are able to analyze that, once you are able to do that, then I've told you already that procrastination is the loss of the battle of the mind. When you lose the battle of thoughts in your mind, that is when you procrastinate. Procrastination cannot happen if you don't lose that battle. So what I'm going to be teaching you next week is how do I empower my mind to always win when the battle happens over there. How do I empower my mind? So if it's a weakness, then we can strengthen ourselves against it. So next week is going to be a bomb. So I'm going to be talking about how to deal with procrastination. I'll give you 7 practical points and your lives will never remain the same again. I want to say thank you very much. It's 9 o'clock. I want to say thank you, Pastor Davis. Thank you very, very much again for tonight. Thank you for joining. It's been a pleasant pleasure, and I've been so blessed to have you again tonight. Pastor Mrs. Shiju Alex, thank you for joining. Sister Eddie, Bro Femi, a whole lot of people. My keyboard is not working again, so I can't really scroll up and down. But well, these are things I need to work on. Okay. All right, but I will get there. I will get there. It's gradual. Okay, this year will be gradual. I will get there. Pastor Larry, wow, thank you very much, sir. This is awesome. I'm so privileged to have you also tonight. So please, next week, by the grace of God, there will be invitations. I will make some IVs. I will send them to you so that you can invite your friends, you can invite your loved ones. It's going to be powerful next week. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things, okay? So I will be giving you those 7 points on how to deal with procrastination. And for the rest of your lives, you won't need to worry about it again. I don't procrastinate anymore. When I set out to do something, people know me for that. Except I didn't say I would do it. Once I set out to do something, I will achieve it. How do you get to that point? How do you get to that position? I have been a procrastinator, a terrible one that almost destroyed my life, that almost destroyed my home. But today, I can tell you I'm a go-to-do somebody. And my motto right now is just do it. In fact, they always even tell me to calm down. Shola, we know. Just calm down, You will still do it. Because once I set to do it, you can't stop me. So how do you become unstoppable in achieving your goals, in going after your dreams and your visions? I will be teaching that next week. Thank you very much, Victoria Chooks. Thank you very much. God bless you all. I love you so much, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.